It's Greg Luther, and I'm excited to be with one of the top real estate agents in San Marcos, California, Leo Orzhel. Thanks so much for joining us here.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit about kind of what you're doing. I know the words around town as far as you selling properties for more money and that type of thing. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been licensed, and what areas do you sell in?
So I've been licensed since 2002, and primarily my focus has always been San Marcos area. I live here. I enjoy living here, and I enjoy actually selling homes here and focusing on trying to get as much money as I can for the sellers.
Absolutely. And I've noticed that from some of the stats I've seen, your homes are selling for 4%, 6% higher, sometimes even a little more, setting new records in certain neighborhoods throughout San Marcos. Tell me a little bit about that. I know you tout something called target marketing. Is that what is attributing to selling these homes for more money?
Absolutely. Like I said, primarily I work in Santa Fe Hills, I told you, and Discovery Hills in San Marcos, but I do cover other communities. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we do that most agents don't do is we try to target market. For example, if someone has a bedroom downstairs, we try to find, we acquire lists where we can find people who have a home. Maybe the kids are a little older and they want to have a little separation between the kids and themselves. So maybe the kids are, 8, 9, 10-year-old, and they want to have a little separation, a little privacy. So we'll find those lists and we'll target specifically to the people looking for something that we're selling.
Okay.
And with that, we're able to find the most opportune buyer that's willing to pay more money.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. So, of course, if it has that example, if it has a first floor master and the other bedrooms are upstairs, it's not going to go to a young couple because they probably want children. And as they have babies, they've got to be on the same level as the nursery. So you're looking at who would be considered the most opportune buyer to market directly to them.
Absolutely. We find that that is the best way to find the most opportune buyer that's willing to pay the highest price. And this is the way we ultimately get more money for our sellers.
Okay, so a good example would be like if I had a 69 Mustang, you could throw it on Craigslist and it may sell, but if we could find people that collect Mustangs, they would pay more for that perfect.
Especially specifically for people who are looking for that kind of car, because Craigslist, like I said, everybody looks there. We want to be very targeted and very specific. And as you already know, most agents, they'll take a listing, they'll throw it in the MLS. They'll throw a sign out, and they'll do an open house here and then, and they're just hoping the house is going to sell. So we take a different approach. We try to make sure we're target marketing specifically to the people who are willing to pay more money for what they want.
Okay, very good. So rather than depending on Realtor.com or Zillow.com, you're actually going directly to that person instead of hoping they stumble across you.
Exactly, because like I said, a lot of people want the house and they're thinking about it, but sometimes they just need to have something in front of them, in front of their eyes, to be able to say, this would be great for us. So a lot of times this will trigger them to take a further look and take a next step.
Yeah, very good. And I was actually doing a little research before our meeting here, and I found a lot of research reviews about you online. You've helped a lot of homeowners in San Marcos.
I have.
One thing that I've seen here is it looks like if they call you, they get you. Tell me a little bit about that. Are you with your own brokerage, and do you handle the work yourself?
Yeah, so Realty Max is my brokerage. I'm the broker. And I do have people that assist me and help me with paperwork and other things as far as setup. However, when people hire me, they actually hire me. I will not throw them to my team. I will not throw them to anyone else, because I believe that selling a home is a really important process. And getting the most money is obviously really important for the seller. So I believe the sellers deserve to have the best possible experience taking care of their sale.
Absolutely. And then, so if they're working with you, and again, I've seen the stats, you're getting 4%, 6%, 8% more for the house. Tell me a little bit about how you're doing that. You're using target marketing. Do you have any tips or tricks or things that you do when you go through a home? Can you stage a home better? Give us some of that inside scoop, because I believe if somebody's looking to interview realtors, really what all they care about is, can I get the service I need, but can I bring more to the bottom line?
Sure, and that's one thing we provide to our sellers. We make sure that the home is properly positioned in the market. That's number one. We also want to make sure that it shows its best. And one of the ways we do this, we provide at our cost, interior decorator or a stager to go through the house and provide a list of things that they need to do prior to putting the home on the market. Sometimes it's small stuff and sometimes it's big stuff, but however, ultimately we're looking to at least make 100% on the investment. So if somebody invests $10,000, we want to make sure they can make $20,000 at the minimum. But we usually end up making quite a bit more for the seller.
And that's what then allows them to net so much more at the bottom line.
Exactly. Okay. And we do one more item that a lot of people want to do, I guess, again, at our dime. We actually bring in an inspector for the property to make sure they go through the house and pick up any red flags that might come up during the escrow process when the inspections occur with the buyer. So we can ensure at the best that we can that the transaction is smooth.
And that's pretty interesting because I do know from my limited experience that the number one reason deals fall apart, you get a buyer that loves your house, but they do an inspection and there's 37 items that come up, even minor items, door doesn't latch correctly, and all of a sudden they start thinking, wait a minute, is this really what we want? And you end up losing that buyer that was in love with your home. So you guys kind of do a pre-inspection, I guess you'd call it?
Yeah, we do a pre-inspection. We provide a list to the seller. The seller takes care of those items. And you're right, like I said, when the buyer comes into the house, they fall in love with the property, and all of a sudden they have an inspection, they have a list of things that, well, tell them that the home maybe is not in the greatest possible shape, and all of a sudden the love for the house kind of dissipates. And then now they're starting to doubt themselves, and we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that the transaction goes smoothly all the way to the end.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense. This is how it ends up selling for more money.
And by the way, besides selling for more money, in the past 8-9 years, we haven't had one transaction that has come apart.
Wow.
Yeah, so we really have a good closing ratio.
Yeah, okay. So I also noticed that you're so confident in a lot that you do that you actually offer kind of a guarantee for homeowners.
We do.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, look, we want to stand out from the crowd. There's all kinds of agents running around promising they're going to get you top dollar, they're going to sell it quickly. Ultimately, none of them will actually stand behind the guarantee. I mean, they won't put their wallet where their money is, and I am. So if my sellers want me to guarantee the sale, I will provide that for them. In fact, I will guarantee that your home will sell in 29 days at a price acceptable to you, or I'll pay you the difference. I think you'll find that's the best guarantee that you will see in our marketplace, and I don't think anyone else actually offers that.
Yeah, well, and obviously with the things that you offer from a marketing perspective, you can feel pretty confident that if that home's sellable, you're going to not only sell it, but sell it for top dollar for that homeowner.
Absolutely, and like I said, you looked at my reviews and you can see most of my sellers, well, all of my sellers are very happy. I usually get them more money at the end, and ultimately I try to deliver above expectations.
Yeah, that over delivery makes everybody happy. Right. Okay. Yeah. Very good. So tell me about kind of the process then. I know you've specialized in home sellers, and I think a couple of things that are a little understated is, number one, you specialize in San Marcos, small market, and you also specialize just with sellers. So I know you'll help sellers if they have another home they need to buy or something like that, but you don't just work with anybody. You're working with a very select area and only on the home seller side, because marketing is what you're good at, right?
Absolutely, yes. So primarily we work with sellers. We have sometimes situations where sellers need a larger home or a smaller home. So we try to work that out. As an inventory right now in our market is very tight and there's not a lot of inventory. A lot of sellers want to move, but, well, they can't find the right home for themselves to move to. So we try to provide additional service to them, what we call a Dream Home Finder program, where we can actually find the home they want before they can put their home on the market. And we have a nice, smooth transactions from A to B and making everybody happy.
And that's pretty interesting too. So if I'm considering selling my home in San Marcos and not really sold on it yet because I haven't found the home that I want, you'll take them out and actually help them in finding the right property before they make the commitment of putting their home on the market.
In fact, we do some marketing on our own to make sure we can find the sellers that are thinking about moving. Maybe they're there, maybe they'll be moving in 30, 60, 90 days, but we want to make sure we can get that seller identified and make sure we can put the two people together. Okay,
so these are like off-market homes then that your clients can look at that they wouldn't find online by looking around.
Absolutely. A lot of times we'll go to listings that were in the market before, maybe they have expired. And like I said, we'll also market to people in the area where the seller wants to move to, and we'll try to find that particular owner that's going to be moving in the next 60, 90 days, whatever the time frame is, But like I said, we make it nice and smooth for both parties.
Oh, wow. So if I have a school district I'm interested in or a particular neighborhood, you'll actually invest your own money in going out and finding a homeowner possibly?
We do it all the time, Greg.
Wow. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about kind of the process then. If I am looking to sell my home, how early in the game should I call you? Should I only call when I'm ready to sell? Is there some preparation work we'd need to do? Tell me about the time frame that way.
Well, look, most people sometimes will call me 30 days from the sale date. However, some people will require some work and getting the home ready. I'd say if you're anywhere from 30 to 90 days away from a sale time, maybe even a little longer, it's probably a good time to contact me so we can at least work out a strategy on how to position your home properly, get it ready, and hit the market running. Basically, that's the bottom line.
Very good. And how can someone reach you then?
Well, the best way is to pick up the phone and give me a call, 760-705-4737. I answer phones most of the time. Sometimes I'm in a meeting, so I'll call back pretty quickly.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for all the knowledge here today.
I appreciate you having me.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right.